Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku Charts.com daily analysis for the S&P 500 for Monday, July 29th, 2013. Well, a continuation of the trend to the downside today, and in bar chart terms this is an inside day. It's a bar or a candle where we have a lower high but a higher low, where the whole range of today's candle or bar is totally within the range of the previous candle or bar, and it does raise some doubt about continuation of the trend to the downside. Now, it raises doubt because the previous trend was unable to continue making the successive series of lower highs and lower lows, although when we look at the previous candle, that was an outside day and another indecisive type candle and did suggest a potential change of trend. But today's candle, the sellers were unable to take out the previous low, suggesting that there was some weakness from the sellers, but by the same token the buyers weren't strong enough to take out the previous high, and that's what causes the indecision in the market. So this does set the market up for a potential higher high and higher low, a potential change of trend to the upside. And having said that, however, we do have a black body, and for the previous two trading days we saw a white body where the buyers had taken control by the close of trading by closing up towards the highs, and that suggested that there was a possibility of the trend changing. Now with today's black body, it suggests that the sellers have made an amount of net bearish progress in the day between the open and the close, and suggests that some momentum has swung to the sellers. We have seen the buyers lose control, but the sellers haven't really taken strong control. They've closed the market just down below the midpoint level, and certainly lost commitment when the market was trading down around the lows, as evidenced by this shadow. So not a lot of faith in the sellers testing this market to lower levels. There is a possibility of that happening because the trend is down, and I suggest that the area around the top of this highlighted yellow zone will act as quite strong support for this market, roughly around 1675, and we saw it act as strong support for the previous day's trading, where we had this large shadow on the bottom highlighting the strong upside price rejection. Interestingly, the market has taken out the 1687 level and closed down below there, and for the previous two trading days we failed to close below there, and that suggested a possibility of a change of trend back to the upside. But with today's close down below, suggests that there is a possibility of this market trading lower. Now in terms of the Fibonacci extension here, and we're examining the relationship of the first time frame downtrend to the previous time the market was trending down, and we've seen strong price rejection from the 161.8% level for the previous trading day, and the market closing just at the 100% level and being rejected from below there for the previous four consecutive trading days, and that is suggesting a possibility of a change of trend. But looking at the momentum at the moment, it does seem to have swung technically just to the sellers, and the buyers seem to have lost some momentum that they found for the previous two trading days, so not a lot of confidence in a change of trend at the moment. In terms of the Fibonacci retracement here today, we've seen the market rejected from the 61.8% level and failing to close below the 50% level. We've seen that for the past four trading days, failing to close down below there, and price action rejected from below the 61.8% and the 78.6%. Does raise some doubt about continuation of the trend, but as I've mentioned, the strength that the buyers had found for the previous two trading days has evaporated, and if the trend was going to change, it probably would have changed for today's trading, but we haven't seen the buyers strong enough. We do need to be patient and wait until this market resolves itself in either direction. So a good possibility of a continuation of the trend to the downside, but we could have a change of trend to the upside, so let's watch for a higher high and higher low. So the high of today's candle becomes important, and certainly watch the low of the current candle for a potential continuation of the trend to the downside. In terms of Ichimoku, obviously a bullish market in the long-term time frame, with the market trading up above the cloud, and we are trading a long way up above the cloud at the moment, and the market is looking a little bit overextended. As we trade through the next week, the cloud will actually move further away from the price action if it remains around this level, and that may be important to this market. It suggests that the market is in a high state of disequilibrium, and that disequilibrium will become larger, and there's a possibility of the market continuing this trend down. So this area around the top of this highlighted yellow zone becomes important. If we see strong bearish activity down below there, we could see the market testing to lower levels, and even perhaps down to around the 1650 level as we trade through the next week. In terms of the Kijun-sen, that's very close to where the cloud is trading at the moment, the top of the cloud, and the market's trading up above there, so bullish market in the medium-term time frame as well as the long-term time frame. But the market is also trading a long way away from the Kijun-sen, so we are looking a little bit overextended. It wouldn't surprise to see the market test back down to lower levels. And just looking at that Kijun-sen, it's pointing flat, and price action is being attracted back towards that flat Kijun-sen, which is an occurrence that we see very, very often when that Kijun-sen turns flat. And it wouldn't surprise to see the market continue to attempt to retrace back to lower levels. In terms of the Tenkan-sen, the green line here, the market is now trading down below the Tenkan-sen. We have had this close down below, and that does suggest a change in sentiment in the short-term time frame. It's been quite some time since we saw the market trading and closing below the Tenkan-sen. That was back in late June, around the 26th of June, and now we have this close, and that suggests that we could see this market trading lower. But I suggest, as I've already mentioned, this area around 1675 will be crucial if we are going to see the market trade lower. But also because we do have this indecisive trading with this inside day, and the buyers losing commitment but the sellers not really strong in this market, we should look for a potential change of trend to the upside. So we do need to be patient and wait for resolution in either direction.